Chef Sal was recorded on a cell phone in front of a fake audience.
Chef Sal here. See this? Boom. We're going to do pork chops. I'm going to show you really how to sear them right and have them. Because pork chops are kind of hard because they kind of dry out on you. We're going to sear them. We're going to make them nice. We're going to serve them with, well, you can call it sauce. You can call it gravy. Either one. You know, we used to fight about it in our neighborhood, but we did it normal. You know, we weren't crazy. We weren't animals.
What's it called? Pasta sauce or pasta gravy? I don't know.
Let's forget I said that. Anyhow. We have some sauce that we're gonna make. I'm gonna make a little amount of sauce, but we're not gonna have spaghetti with it. I'm gonna make a small little rectangular noodle that's paleo from scratch, and you're gonna learn how to do it. You're not gonna use the fancy crank machine that you need a butter knife to get through all the stuff to clean it. No, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna use a regular, maybe a pizza cutter and a knife. They're called lasagna because they're little mini lasagnas. They're like this big. That's what lasagna came from. So anyway, let me start with the sauce or the gravy. I don't care what you call it. We're gonna put this. We're gonna put the heat here on medium-high heat. I like to start stuff off medium-high heat just because I like to nail my veggies. See, I got the veggies ready here. We have. I cut up a small onion for this. We're gonna make a small amount. Like I said, we're not gonna do it. If you're worried about a big family, double everything. If you got a big family, double everything, especially for Uncle Bruno. You know how he is. You know. This pot, I might have told you, was on medium high. Go a little bit towards the high stuff because you know that I like to really shock my veggies. I'm a veggie shocker from way back. All right, so we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil. Now these are gonna pretty much, yeah, see? They're sizzling, baby. These are the onions I told you about. It was 1 small onion to be exact. All right, so we got that going. You want to mix these around. And it's a matter of preference as far as how to season, when to season. I like to do my salt and pepper in layers, as Emeril Lagasse used to say. So I want to add my salt now and my pepper. So let's add a little bit of salt. 2 teaspoons is fine. Small amount we're making of this sauce, gravy, so I don't know. And now a little bit of pepper. Pepper and everything, salt and everything, you know. Except any kind of vanilla custard. Then you're really pushing it. Right? Monday nights or Thursday nights and Sunday, it was gravy day. Clear the decks. Postpone all the beatings. We got our beatings Mondays and Tuesdays, got them out of the way. Just kidding. I could take my mother. I could take you. So we have the salt in here, we have the pepper in here, and we have the onions. Oh, they're getting a little brown. Don't let them get brown. Yes, you can let them get brown if you want. A lot of chefs say, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't make them brown. You make them brown, the sauce, it comes out bitter. No, that's black onions. Get it right, Bruno. Okay. So I'm going to move it down a little bit now that they've been shocked, these onions. And I want to add some of this oregano. Just because we're using 1 with the oregano, I'm going to go with about 2 teaspoons, all right? Get that down. Let the oregano kind of aerate. Aerate? It's aerate. Fumigation. No, that's a disgusting thing. You know what I mean. You could smell it, okay? You could smell the oregano toasting up. It's toasting up oregano. All right, now what we're on deck, actually swinging a bat, are the pork chops. I have 2 really nice ones. There's 2 really nice pork chops. And you know what? Get them with the bone in, but we'll go over that later. More taste. Just cooler, you know? Like it's like training wheels when you have no, you're cutting it. This is good, dear. No. Get the bone in there. All right, so this is getting all happy, and all that emerald stuff. And now we're going to do, let's say, a tablespoon of chopped garlic. Remember, it's spaghetti sauce, all right, or gravy, whatever. So that means garlic. Now, I usually put a little red wine in here. My dad used to put sugar. What it does is it gets rid of that bitter taste from the tomatoes, especially now because I'm using these canned tomatoes, which are just, they take them. I think they might stew them a little bit. I don't know, but that's what they look like. They're canned tomatoes. Can everybody see them? Can you see that? Yeah. And they take the skins off and they kind of prep them. But some people use tomatoes. I mean, they actually grow them and they blanch them. I'll do that in another show. I'm a little lazy today. Today's Sunday, by the way. All right, so I have this garlic. As soon as you start smelling the garlic, no more than a minute. I don't know what minute means, but just keep going. All right? Now, as I was saying before, I usually put red wine here. We don't have any. Like I said, my dad used to put sugar in. And use a little bit of white wine. Any white wine you have is fine. Sweeter the better. I don't know. What do we got here? We got Pinot Grigio white wine. And that'll go in here. And, I don't know, quarter cup. And don't add anything else until that wine comes down, because that's where you're going to get the flavor. If you start diluting it with stuff and you add the tomatoes, it's going to just bubble around. It's going to be bubble. Forget it. Stick with me. I'm telling you. All right, now, we have some crushed tomatoes. You can use puree if you want. You can use real tomatoes. You got to blanch them and then chop them up and, strain them, whatever you have to do. I mean, you buy the crushed. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to pour this 1 can in here. Pour it low to the pot so you don't splash your white things. Very brilliant of me to wear a white t-shirt to do a tomato sauce show. It's just what I do because I'm Chef Sal. All right, we got this going. This is great. It smells like a sauce, but let me tell you, here's the deal, okay? You can do it for an hour. That gives you that bright tomatoey, like a lot of restaurants use that. They don't take the time to make a gravy with the meat, and this isn't one of those kind of gravies anyway. But I do want it to come down. I want it to, and as you know, I like when they cook down. It gives you more intense flavor and really, really good flavor. Anyway, I'm gonna let that come down. I'm gonna let this go in the background as I'm getting my pork chops ready, as I'm showing you how to make the pasta. Just keep it in the background, keep checking it. Keep the top loosely on in the back. Let it go in the back, and then we're gonna come back. Pork chop time. Come on, let me show you. All right, preheated the oven to 350. We're gonna finish these pork chops in the oven. Let me show them to you. Check this out. Yeah, serious. Look how thick they are. Go to your butcher. We just go to the butcher, the guy at Whole Foods. Hey, give me some thick ones. These are about 1 inch. These are pretty serious pork chops. That's why you can't really do them all the time in the pan, in the whole cooking process in the pan. You can't do them all the time in the pan. You gotta finish them in the oven. They say there's no pink allowed on the inside. You can have a little bit, just a little bit. Please, for God, for police people. Anyway, you don't have to. It's a little juicy. But we have to sear them. That's the whole thing about pork chops. They tend to get dry, so we want to sear them. So this pan has been going on a high heat, really, really high heat. When you put the oil in and it starts to ripple, you're ready to go. I want you to listen to what I'm hearing here. You ready? That's serious heat going on. And be careful. A lot of fat on these things on the outside. It's going to splatter, all right? And you want to go until you get a nice crust on your outside, dear Jenny. You want to go till you get a nice crust. You want a brown crust. You got to go about 3 or 4 minutes. Don't check it until 3 minutes. And then you look at it. Get a nice brown crust, you can turn it over, go another 2 to 3 minutes, and then boom in the oven. Boom, boom, boom. All right? All right, so I spared you the sight of watching me tinker around the kitchen as the pork chops side 1 are browning. So let's take a little look here. Look at this. Look at this brown. That's what we're going for. Now we're going to let the other side go. Remember, this is just a searing process. Basically, what you want to do is when you're searing, all the juices, they run to the middle of the meat. You're like, I'm getting out of here. You guys do what you want to do, but me, I'm going to the center of the meat. I'm going right to the center of the meat. That's what they're doing. Look at the brown on here. It's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. All right, so let me keep this going, and we're going to come back. When it's ready to shove into the oven, I'm going to shove it in the oven, all right? Stick around. That's right. Anyway, I'm going to show you what the bottom side of these look like. Just to show you. See? Beautiful brown. Gorgeous. But the inside's still, almost raw. Right? Because we had this up on really, really high heat, so it's not going to penetrate the meat. Now we're going to put these in the oven. And I'm going to just show you what to do. I really wouldn't do this. Especially, well, taking it out I would, but I wear a mitt. Putting it in, taking it out. Ovens and pork and fat and things, you can have a real problem on your hands. She's going in at 350. I want you to check it in 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to show you how to check it. I don't want to be putting a meat thermometer in there because all the juices come out like a volcano. I told you this in an earlier show, and it's just, what's the fun, right? What's the fun in all the juices coming out unless you have a science project? That'll work. Let me let this go, and then we're going to be back again. Multitask. Let's go. Pork chops are in the oven. While that's happening, let's start on this pasta. Just to save a little time, what I have in here already is a cup and a half, like the way I did that, cup and a half of almond flour. You can get it anywhere. Any supermarket has it now. Whole Foods does if if they choke on you, which they won't. It's a cup and a half of that and a cup and a half of tapioca flour. Now, tapioca flour is kind of cool. A lot of people that are gluten-free will tell you, I can't get my pasta to stretch like the bread dough does, like the regular wheat. I just can't get my pasta to do that stretch. Well, tapioca flour is the answer. Look, nothing's going to be wheat. Wheat does enough damage. You know what I'm saying? But get this tapioca flour. This will give you that stretch that you want and keep the noodles from falling apart, But then again, they're going to be small, right? Right? What did I tell you? Sanya or sanye. Whatever. I like sanya better, all right? So I got my paddle attachment. I got my cup and a half each of these two flours. I'm going to put in, I don't know, close to 2 teaspoons of salt. Start it out slow. Start it out slow. So the reason I'm doing this is just to break up, a lot of clumps that happen in the flour. It's not a big deal. You don't have to do it. I like to do it. And over here, in this kind of area here, what we have here are 2 extra large eggs or large eggs. It doesn't really matter that much. And 4 egg yolks. You know how to separate an egg. If not, write to me in the comments and I'll send you a video. I will. Until I'm famous, I will do whatever you want. And when I'm famous, I won't know who you are. Nah, not my goal. I'm staying here with the tubers. Alright, 1 egg at a time, if you dare. Just let it break up and keep her rolling. Keep her rolling. Now, as you can see, I have it on pretty slow. I have it on number 2, number 3. Put it a little bit higher. Now that I know I'm not going to get doused with flour, like it's some kind of makeup. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, when you see it can't go anymore, it's going to make a strange noise. Don't be all scared. Don't get all scared. You want to take it out, and we're going to put this onto a flour. I'm going to get rid of this what's this? A magic of television. Did that work? Hey, look, it worked. Magic. Not really. I'm not as good as those I Dream of Jeannie shows and all that. Anyway, here we go. I took this out of the mixer and just with my hands. I didn't knead it on the thing. Just with my hands, I went back and forth, squished it around until it got smooth, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into 4, sort of equal parts. You don't have to be perfect. That's in half. And see, about like that. And then, like that's fine. And take these, roll them into a ball, and put these in any kind of bowl or whatever, a measuring cup here, and have a moist paper towel, put that over it, because this gluten-free or paleo flour, let me tell you, it dries out in a New York minute. Let me tell you. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I want these to come out as square as possible. It's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to start off here, with a rectangle, right? Why not? And this is what you call bench flour. So I guess that makes this a bench. I've never satin on it. But I'm going to, that's what the chefs call it. We're going to make like the real big chefs today, the real cool chefs. Rolling pin, any kind you want. Now, this is the tricky part. You want to see how long you want to make it first, and that really is up to you. We're going to cut it into small pieces anyway, but if you were doing noodles, for instance, how long do you want your noodles? So if we were doing noodles here, so I would stop right here and then move it out left to right. See the width, get the width out there, and then cut up your noodles. If that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Write to me and I'll explain it to you in an email. At Stellmundo, STELLMUNDO @gmail.com. Okay, I can almost see the board now through it. Now they say 1/4 of an inch thick. That's way too thick. What are these people saying? Now we're going to cut it up, basically. First do your long strips. Long strips first. And I would go, about a 1/2 inch. Because like I said, we're going to cut these into rectangular noodles. Or zanya. Zanya. It's a good name for a dog. Here's Zanya. Here's Zanya. Come here, Zanya. All right, so let's do this. Now we're gonna cut them, sideways. I'm not gonna move the board. I'll just move the meat. And I don't know. Go about 2 inches, 1.5 inches. See what I'm doing? Very simple, right? And that is all she wrote. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can take out the little corners if they're not the right shape. I don't know. I guess I want to get fancy, so I'll do that. And that's pretty much it. Here, I'll show you. See? Zanya. Zanya. That's it. That's really it. All right, so let me finish the rest of these. Keep these things covered. Keep them covered. And when you're done with these, I want you to put them out on a lightly floured platter if you have it, just to let them sit. I'm down to my last part of the batch here. I've been putting them in this bowl, and I've been flouring them up just a little bit with tapioca flour. Keep them, so they don't stick together. Nobody wants a bowling ball with sauce on it. So these are the last of them. I have some boiling water going with a 1/4 cup of salt in it. So let's bring these over, and I will be right back. Okay, time to look at our little porky baby thingies. Now, remember I told you we're not going to have you stick a thermometer in there? I didn't do it. I didn't do it. This was about between 14 and 15 minutes, okay? I can just tell. But I want you to take it out in about 12, 14 minutes, a couple of minutes before. Very simple test, okay? Just push down. Push down on the pork. Push down on the chops. Push down on your chops. And if it kind of springs back, it springs back. It doesn't stay there, but it springs back nicely. You got yourself a well-cooked piece of pork. Cover it up. The cooking will resume in a slow fashion. Put it somewhere on your stove next to the gravy, which I have going still on a very low flame. This is like, I don't know. It's a Blue Danube sort of thing. Let me get more things set up and I'm gonna be right back. See, here we are. Kitchen area, that's what they look like, all prettied up. I have my water boiling just to review. Just a little bit of a review here. I got my water boiling. She's boiling at a rapid boil, a rolling boil, if you will. And I have my pork chops, which are resting, which as they were cooking and doing their thing, I was making a little bit of dough, wasn't I? And of course my sauce or my gravy has been going on a very, very low heat. I crack it once in a while to let some moisture out so it thickens up, thick up. And now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pour these in the water. Try to shake it, try to jiggle this as you pour it. So in case there's any other ones that are sticking together, they won't stick together. How's that? Usually pour away from yourself, but I got the camera here, so I want to show it on the camera. And this isn't going to take long at all. What I suggest you get is a pasta fork, which I broke. And just, a light mix, because they're very pliable, which means that they're going to change the shape if you hit them too hard. Be nice to them. Now they're gonna come to the surface. That doesn't mean they're done. It usually does, like when you make gnocchi.
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 Yeah, that's it. Let them go, after they come to the surface, let them go another 2 to 3 minutes and, let them cook. Then I'm going to drain them, put them back in this pot, let the residual heat from the pot dry out all the extra moisture that's going to be in them. Whew. And we're going to eat. We're going to eat pork chops and lasagna with sauce. I'll take off, like I said, on my old days when we had pork chops and spaghetti. It's over. Swanson, you've had it. I'm going to try one. Yes, you can test it. Put yours in a dish and then touch it. Don't do what I'm doing. Oh. Dunzo. Let's go. And this flour, it's not like regular wheat. It has some really good taste. Okay, you don't see me, but I'm over here draining, and I have a colander in the sink. I'm gonna put this back on a really, really low flame. See? Really low flame. Just wanna kind of get rid of all the moisture. And now, I have my spoon here. I have a little oil in them. Okay, turn off that heat. Turn off that heat. And now we're gonna put this together and come back and have a little bit of eats, you know what I mean? Pork chops and spaghetti, but it's not spaghetti. It's paleo, gluten-free, lasagna. Look it up. Now, write me in the comments. There's a lot of things going on here. If you have questions, let me know. Let me know. I'll answer them. You know, I'm not that famous yet, but I'm getting there. Stelmundo, STELLMUNDO. If you have any questions, that's at gmail.com. Stelmundo@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please subscribe. Please like. Well, I know you're gonna like, but you know what I mean. Like the video too, and share it. Share it with your friends and comment. And this is Chef Sel saying goodbye from Italy Central. Actually, Highlands, New Jersey. See ya.